This year, in July, months of protests climaxed with the People's Power protests, calling for a change. And July 1983 was one of the darkest chapters in our history, resulting in a war of nearly 30 years. 40 years on, however, what lessons have we learned? And that is what celebrated artist Chandraguptha Thenuwara asks us. These works around us here at this exhibition asks a very pertinent question, a very relevant one for our times. What is democracy? Is it really the will of the people? Do we ever question this? And he brings in an interesting example from biblical history. Chandragupta, welcome to our program Kaleidoscope. Now, your title work of the exhibition, Ec Homo, Behold the Man, interestingly, is an etching of Rembrandt's presentation of Pontius Pilate presenting Jesus to the crowd. When you look at this, how does this relate to actually what is happening around us right now?
The word democracy is very complicated here in Sri Lanka. So we think a majority voice is the democracy. So we know what happened in past, so now all the times they are talking about called Janamataya in Sinhala. This is the whole everybody, someone is saying this is the thing and this is the idea of democracy. So that is why I have to revisit the word democracy and our practice, what we are doing. That is why I went back to this classical event, putting into our Sri Lankan context. So then we can talk about it, actually what is really democracy is. Yeah, there are many books written on democracy, but practice is different.
Does Sri Lanka actually comprehend the depth of the word democracy, like you said?
People, they are not democratically thinking. If people are not thinking democratically, so that means that you are getting the same kind of government is there. But they are misusing the word and saying, yes, majority wants this, that is why we are doing this. So a lot of people are suffering. Even who vote for the majority also suffers, That is why we have to rethink thinking about not of the politics and governance, and think about the person and your civilian responsibility.
Looking at July 1983 and looking at it now, what are the parallels you've drawn?
Still, I think we didn't address the real issues started from the Black July. Still the militarization is there. So we feel here, when we are afraid when the military is moving here and there around in the western province or somewhere, we are calling, oh, military presence is there. But they are 27 years plus, still they are having military.
Given that it's been nearly 40 years now, have you seen any change from 83 to now?
A lot of buildings and other things are there, and bridges and roads, carpet roads, but same people are here. It won't change. The same aggressive and manipulated, easily you can fool by the politician. You are waiting something from politicians. That we have to stop. You have to separate the politician. They have to representatives of us, not the people who are giving something for us. We don't have to ask them. You have to ask them to do their job. That is why still the North and East, still they have a problem. They had more years in darkness, blackouts, no petrols, no matches, no batteries. But we happily lived more than 27 years here. We can't wait at least one day without gas and petrol. Then we have to get the more power to citizens and who are deciding it or asking, and same time doing your responsibility. You are responsible for your life, not the government.
Well, good luck. You brought up two very interesting points. One is that we have to keep questioning ourselves as to whether what we are doing is right. And the second thing is that we are all equipped with civilian responsibility, which we have to take seriously.
Yes.
If you like Kaleidoscope, subscribe and follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn.